Totally amazing here, the home of scientific knowledge, discovery, truth, research, and hot chocolate around my mouth, and power tools. And today we have a dedication to Dan and Dave. Dan got in touch with a guy who I know called Dave, and Dave then subsequently asked me to have a look at this for Dan and see what we can do with this. Now, Dan is actually a Liverpool fan, so we're going to stay with the red t-shirt today for you. And apparently the motto with these, I don't follow soccer myself, but apparently is, you'll never walk alone. Well, you are walking alone at the moment, sadly, when you have broken your power tools. But hopefully we can get this fixed so you'll never walk alone. Anyway, let's have a look at what we have, and then in the next video we'll do the strip down and repair and see where we go from there. So let's just zoom in. That's not really going very well. I've zoomed in too far. Excellent. There we are. So what we can see is this is a cordless power tool, and it's powered with a 4 amp hour lithium 18 volt battery. And this cordless power tool is an impact wrench with at least 1/2 inch drive, or possibly maybe slightly more. That's perfectly normal anyway, and this one is made from Makita, as we can see here. Let's just sort of fix the light. Now, Makita are a pretty decent brand. They're one of the best in the world, and they're independent, unlike DeWalt, who, as far as I know, go off the back end of Black & Decker, and there's a few others that are part of the same group. Whereas Makita, I do believe, are on their own, and they make a whole wide range of tools, such as circular saws, angle grinders, reciprocating saws, drills, cordless screwdrivers, so on and so forth. Sawzalls, you name it, chop saws, the whole lot. They pretty much cater for everything. Now, what we have anyway with the issue with this, these are usually used by mechanics and people that need sort of impact socket wrenches, so certain structural engineers and maybe scaffolders, and some builders, and occasionally electrical engineers as well. But more, I would say, probably kind of scaffolding, mechanics and whatnot. And again, 4 amp hour, 18 volt lithium ion battery, which is removed by pressing the front down and separating that out. Now, usual deal with these, and this one's fairly in a grubby, disgusting, horrible mess, as you would expect from sort of in the building industry or whatever. Yeah, sort of kind of horrible kind of clay-like substance on it. And this thing anyway, 72 watts per hour. Usual warnings here. Don't drop them, pierce them, burn them. Don't throw them in water, don't subject them to impact. Basically, don't do all of the things that I like doing, because it would break the battery and possibly cause a lipo fire, as it is lithium ion. Anyway, with these, I usually have the whole kind of press button test on them, as most of these things do. There we are, press it, and 4 LEDs kind of tells us that there's still a charge there. Now this one has had a degree of problems. When you push the button, sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. But that's because if we look here, there's a substantial kind of mechanical damage there. Just get that in the light, you can see where I'm able to pull that around. And it's, I would say it's been kind of dropped or whatever. As we can see by the state of the thing, it's a sort of horribly crumbling mess. Now, usually with these anyway, you've got the standard kind of deal with these. forward, reverse action. That's meant to be an LED light there, and obviously that's perfectly normal because we turn that, it's torqued up, you can hear the motor spinning. That's actually fine. What isn't though is sometimes you have to force the button over. Bring that over. Ah, there it is. Sometimes it comes on, sometimes it doesn't, as we can see. It's kind of sometimes working, sometimes kind of not. And that's sort of locked itself. I think there we are. Trigger mechanism's definitely got some fault there. You can see it's wiggling it around and it's rather loose and horrible. So that is going to definitely need to be looked at, as is the front there. And there's going to be several screws here that we'll have to move. Now this one is possibly the brushed variety. In the back here you're going to have a motor, and by undoing these the motor will simply pull out. There's usually two brushes that fit either side for maintenance of this. It's possible it could be a brushless version, but I don't really know. I've not actually stripped one of these down before, but they are pretty much all the kind of same deal. Now at the front here there's usually some other kind of functions. Have a look at that. I'm not sure if that's meant to be a button, if it's meant to be pushed or whatever, but you've got some sort of display there, and for some reason that's not kind of showing up either. And as we can see, the lights come on again. It's really doing anything. I'm not sure if that's meant to be a push button or what the story is with that, but it's going to warrant a look anyway. Of course there, got the usual battery indicator, sort of high speed, middle and a slow, I'm assuming. With some sort of lamp, whatever that might be, or a heat lamp or heat detector, I don't know. I'm probably going to have a look at the manual for this. I'll probably definitely have to try and find some teardown manual. Oh, that did turn there, as you can hear. So it's definitely working. It's just, I can feel it sort of juddering a bit. So it's definitely, there we are. Some sort of mechanical, it's working. There we are. It's clearly working. So it's kind of, that's not really a very practical way of trying to use it, so it's going to be sort of almost fixed it just by doing that. As we see, kind of forward and reverse, but instead of pushing that down, it's meaning that you're having to force it upwards, and we'll need to address that. But it does actually seem to be working, so that's fine. So we'll just go ahead and remove the battery again. Removing the battery is easy. Unlike some of the others, where there's usually the battery clip on the sort of side here where you push them and then pull them out. This one's fairly easy. The white button, just push that and pull backwards. Fairly nice design there. Now what we also have is on the side here, a metal clip. There's a hole there for another one. Now I assume that's going to be for some sort of protection there for the battery, in case you drop this thing, it doesn't come flying off. But however, there's something there that may look sheared off, possibly for some sort of caddy, or it would have been for because sometimes you can actually get these tool holders. I've actually got one as well. You could just slot this thing in, and there'll be some way of securing the tool. The reason why we have one of those is particularly when in some of the jobs that I do, if you're at height, there's occasionally I would find myself in some very strange places, like lift shafts, or elevator shafts as actually known. When I actually elevated, kind of travelways, you know, the types of buildings, you sort of have this big cavity, the elevator goes up and down. If you've got to do any sort of electrical servicing in there or whatever, it requires the use of a power tool. You wouldn't want to be dropping that completely down an elevator shaft. If there's other engineers at the bottom or whatever, that falling multiple tens of floors, if that hits somebody, it's definitely going to kill them. So particularly in our industry, what we would have, well, certainly in engineering, there's going to be these removable screws. Let's just see if we can now make it easier, if we can, to work with this. Probably going to have to take it out anyway, so the whole drill is going to have to come apart. Well, it's not a drill actually, it's a socket, but that's essentially what that is. Now, as I said, with us, when you're at height, what you would do is this would essentially have a full kind of clip around it. So, and then that would be kind of strapped to you. So if you drop it, it's not going to fall very far at all. And that's generally that. Now, probable cost of this brand new would have been maybe upwards of best part of northwards of 150 to around £200 or so. Maybe able to get them cheaper. Again, it's all impact stuff. So that's basically that. There's not really much else to say about this. So I guess what we're going to have to do is there's a bit loose in there as well. You can sort of hear that flapping around. So we'll need to have a look at that anyway. It's going to be a fair restoration project. Imagining in there something is going to have sort of slipped off, and, possibly broken in there. It just seems really loose and flapping around. And what I also can see, what I've noticed, and I don't think the camera will pick it up, but we'll have a look. That's where my sort of finger is there. There's all sort of kind of filth in there, such as dust and grit. It's probably not going to find its way into the main motor itself. Gearbox assembly is probably going to be at the front. That's all usually kind of isolated, but will be needing to be stripped and cleaned out anyway. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, is try and find a model number for this. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. Essentially, the model number would be there, and as we can see, it's sort of worn off. As you'd expect with these things, there's usually going to be a lot of use there. So what I need to do is try to figure out exactly how this thing comes apart. We obviously know there's going to be the usual 2, 4, 6, 8 fasteners here, 2 here, and whatever's holding that front nose there. So that's probably going to have to come off. So that's going to be interesting. So obviously we need to find out exactly more about this unit. So that's probably about all I can say on that. And Dan and Dave, hopefully we can have this sorted, and hopefully it's going to be a fairly easy fix there. So I guess until the next time, stay... Oh, no, actually, we have forgotten something. We definitely have forgotten something. That's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and there's the bells again. Get bells on. We almost actually forgot about that. That would have been a huge failure. So there's the bells all again. Got to love a bit of bell action. Some cookie action as well. But I'm also going to be having a lager. Not that I was planning on drinking tonight, but I bumped into Dave earlier on for coffee, and he needed a parking voucher from obviously the local supermarket. And with the parking voucher, he would have had to spend over £3, and I thought, well, okay, well, parking vouchers are basically nothing anyway. It's free when you spend over £3 in the store. So I ended up basically, let's just go and get what I have. It's basically, I mean, as I said anyway earlier on, I don't really have much else to do for the next couple of days. So we're going to basically have a go with that impact driver and a 6-pack of Stella Artois, Artois. Stella Artois. You know, Stella. Yum. Right, just before we get off, let's find an interesting way of opening this. How am I going to do this? Alright, okay. Well, seeing as this is a tradesman's tool, and we're working, well, most tradesmen after work, they would kind of have a beer. I'm sure tradesmen, if they needed to open a beer, they would use something relevant. Most of them usually carry a pencil behind the ear or something, so we could open a beer with a pencil. Or what else would they have? They'd probably have a tape measure. We could use a tape measure. That's in my other kit. That's shown from a previous video of what's in my handbag. If you've seen that video, the what's in my handbag, which isn't a bag at all. In fact, let's keep it relevant and real. Let's just get our sort of tape measure thing out. Let's see if we can open a beer with a tape measure as extra bonus content. I don't know if that's possible. I'm sure we'll find out. We're going to try that then. I don't think that's probably going to work. Maybe not. I don't think that's going to... I can't see that happening. Let's try again a couple more times. Well, if you're a tradesman... Oh, yes! Oh, okay. I was just about to say, if you're a tradesman and all you had was a tape, a measuring tape or tape measure, and you might not have been able to open a beer, but actually, yes, you can. And well, we know we could open one with a pencil. So that's that. So that was a bit of extra bonus content for you, and that pencil anyway is broken, so that's not really going to be doing anything anyway. That doesn't even belong there. It goes actually in that tool bag. But we actually do have another one anyway, and it's in Liverpool red. See, you know, if you're a Liverpool fan. Well, as I said, I don't know anything about soccer, but Dan does, so that's fine. Over there. Anyway, that's basically that for now. So we said, like, comment, get the bell on, and stay totally amazing, and subscribe. Yeah.